everyone. Thanks for being here on such short notice. Bruchim habayim. I'm Nily Rozic, in case you didn't realize from the name on the sign. I represent this neighborhood in the state assembly, but I guess for all intents and purposes, and more importantly, I was also born in Israel, and I'm the one of two now Israeli-born members of any state legislature in the country, and I was the first, certainly here in New York. With that comes like a lot of responsibility that I represent this community more broadly, not just in New York, but across the country. And so when October 7th happened, obviously my whole world turned upside down. But it's not nearly as complicated and intense and unnerving for every moment of every day as for the families that you'll hear from today, some of whom have family members that were released, and most of them whose family members are still being held in captivity by Hamas. It's really important that we provide the space to have these conversations, but also to hear the stories, to bear witness. I can't believe I'm saying that, as multi-generational descendant of people who survived the Holocaust. And we really have to keep telling their stories until every last hostage is released from Hamas. That's the purpose of today, to bring awareness, to share, to be in company with each other, and to just keep their names at the tip of our tongues. I did this in partnership and at the behest of the Consul General of Israel in New York. I want to thank them for bringing us all together, facilitating this conversation, and I'm going to turn it over to the Deputy Consul General Tsach Saar.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much, Nili, for organizing this gathering in this intimate atmosphere that allows us to hear the stories firsthand from families. The families are attending different events in order to raise the awareness of their story, of their loved ones, and to maybe bring closer their release from Gaza. And I would like to thank you, all the elected officials, for being here, and guests, and hearing the story. And again, there's something special about this intimate setting that allows us to be more open, to ask questions, and to talk. And I just thank you for your time. Thank you, Nili, for the organization. Eli, if you can just represent all the families.
And we'll do a round of introduction also.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
also.
can. I'll talk very briefly because the stage would be of the family members. My name is Ila. I'm the head of the delegation and one of the founders of the Hostages and Missing Families Forum. We have here remarkable people, brave people, who some of them unfortunately lost their loved ones, and some of them are still hoping for good news. I will tell them to share the stories. For us, I would like to thank each and every one of you for having us, for giving us the platform to talk. We will continue knocking on each door possible around the globe to try to get any support, any help. We scream for help, we beg for help, for us to echo the most vital wish that one could have, to have back her family members, civilians who were kidnapped from their beds, from a music festival. So thank you for having the time and keep fighting for us. And thank you.
So we very quickly, there are a lot of elected officials here, and I'm so grateful to my colleagues from far and wide who made it. Can we quickly go around the room and just say your name, what your constituency, your district is, and go from there, yeah? John, do you want to start, and we'll go this way?
I'm State Senate, represent Flushing, Bayside, and Fresh Meadows, and mostly work for Nily Rozic.
My name is Ed Bronstein. I'm a state assembly member. I'm Neely's neighbor. And Neely said your constituency. I represent a large Jewish constituency in my assembly district.
Hi, thank you again for Monday. And thank you, Nily, for bringing us together. Catalina Cruz, Jackson Heights, Corona, and Elmhurst. And I have a small but very significant Jewish community. And I am, this is gonna be a very tough conversation to have, but a very needed conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Nily, for hosting us. My name is Assemblymember Jessica Gonzalez Rojas. I am Catalina's neighbor. I have Jackson Heights, East Elmhurst, Corona, Woodside, and Astoria. Majority Latino district, and I also have Arab and Greek. Also a small but influential Jewish community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andy Hevesy, Assemblyman Hevesy from the 28th District. I represent Forest Hills, Regal Park, Kew Gardens, and Middle Village with a sizable Jewish population. I'm also had many members of my families lost in the Holocaust, and I am an unabashed Zionist, pro-Israel. So thank you for allowing me to be here.
Good afternoon, I'm Leroy Comrie. I'm New York State Senator representing North Richmond Hill, Kew Gardens Hills, parts of Forest Hills, Briarwood, Jamaica, St. Albans, parts of Hollis, Queens Village, Laurelton, and Cambria Heights. I have a significant Jewish population, and I'm standing with Israel. I've always had since I've been an elected official.
Hello, I'm Ron Kim. I'm a member of the State Assembly. I'm also Nily's neighbor, representing Flushing, Whitestone, Queens. I represent one of the most diverse communities in the country, with majority Asian Americans, but also represent a good chunk of Jewish voters in my district as well.
Ed Ra, represent the 19th Assembly District, which is on the other side of the Nassau-Queens border. I'm kind of on the Nassau side from Ed Bronstein. Thank you, Nily, for putting this together. And I actually had the privilege in this past February of going to Israel with Nily and with Amanda. So learned a lot, and you know, this whole situation has really hit home, especially given that there were sites that we visited that were very, very severely impacted. So
Yeah,
thanks for being with us.
We visited Plaza right before.
My name is Alec Brook-Krasny. I'm representing Southern Brooklyn. I'm representing tens of thousands of Russian Jewish Americans. We all have a lot of relatives in Israel. I myself have about 50 relatives in Israel. When we're in Israel with my wife and my kids, we usually have to reserve the whole restaurant in order to accommodate all our relatives. So, of course, we're with you, and younger relatives in Israel, they in Sahal, and the rest of the family just very worried, and we are about you, and thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much.
My name is Sam Berger. I represent Kew Garden Hills, Palmanock, Leicester, College Point, Whitestone, Forest Hills, and a small portion of Briarwood. I have three sisters who live in Israel, Givat Zev, Sanhedria, Rechavia, cousins who are serving in the IDF now. Very grateful to Nily for putting this together. Thank you.
I'm Toby Stavisky. It's going to take me a minute to describe my constituency. I start in Astoria in Western Queens, and I go through College Point. I'm doing this geographically. College Point, Whitestone, Douglaston, Little Neck, Glen Oaks, North Shore Towers area, Queens Village, Belrose, Floral Park, Jamaica, that's the western part is Jamaica State, south of the Grand Central. And it's a large area, with the same number of people. My husband lost his grandparents in the Holocaust. They never came to the United States with his father and his father's siblings. But his uncle went to Palestine when everybody else came to New York. So Leonard has quite a few relatives who changed their name from Stavisky to Stav, S-T-A-V, which I understand means spring.
Autumn.
Autumn.
I almost named my daughter Stav.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Adi Stav spent a year in the United States staying with my husband's parents in Flushing. Obviously, I don't have to tell you that I am obviously committed to things that are important. And I'm a longtime member of the Whitestone Hebrew Center.
Hi, I am Assemblymember Alicia Hyman. I represent the communities of Rosedale, Laurelton, Springfield Gardens, Jamaica, and Hollis. Thank you, Assemblymember Rozic, for putting this together. And while I do not have a significant Jewish population, I do have a significant number of Jewish families that visit the district every day, as the Grand Rebbe is buried in the 29th December district.
Thank you.
My grandparents are buried there.
And
My father's parents.
different actions.
Hi, my name is Amanda Septimo. I represent the South Bronx in the State Assembly. Thank you to Nily for bringing us together and for your leadership on this. I had the pleasure of going to Israel for the second time back in February, but I was also there last month, and am here with you all in this fight and will continue today.
Thank you. So you can see it's like a very diverse group of legislators from all across the city and state. I wanted to bring us together just in our diversity to show strength and solidarity with all of you and your families.
Thank you. And I must say, for us, this is not an Israeli issue. For us, this is not a Jewish issue. For us, it's a humanitarian issue. It's concerning African Americans and Latinos and Christian and non-Christian, and regardless of race and color and beliefs. Those are civilians of the world. What cannot take place in the US in 2023 and cannot take place in France, in Britain, in every democracy or any spot on the planet for that matter, in my views, democracy or non-democracy, cannot take place in Israel. And for that, I thank you that we have such a diversity, and if you can take the message and the horrific stories that you will hear from my friends here and echo it throughout your communities. Please remember, we are families, we are brothers and sisters, and thank you for coming and listen. If each and every one of you can represent yourself, talk about your family members. Thank you.
So hi everyone, I'm Gil Benjamin, and this is my dad Ron. My father likes to ride his bicycle like every Saturday. Unfortunately, this Saturday he went to Kibbutz Be'eri to ride his bicycle, and then the bomb started to fly over Israel, over his head. So he called to me, to his family, and tell us that the only thing he wants is to come back to his home in the Central, that we won't be alone in this. And then he started to ride on his car to the home, and in 232 road, the terrorist shoot his car and took him to Gaza. For 50 days we didn't know if he's kidnapped, and because no one took a video of him and no one was with him, so we didn't know if he's dead or alive, and every day it was like a whole miserable, because every knock on the door we thought the army were going to say now that they found his body. And when they told us that he's a kidnapped, it was another power that we have option that he can come home. And now I'm here to ask you to help us, because the time is gone, and every day it can change. We don't know if it's alive or dead, and every day this can change. So I really ask you to help me to bring back my dad home, because I really miss him, and he's my best friend, and I really, really want him to be in my life in the future, to help me to grow up my child and to be in my wedding. And I can't describe you how hard it is that one day you are with dinner with him in Friday and the next day he kidnapped and you don't know what is going on, and I really appreciate it if you help us. And thank you for the time that you give us to tell you the stories. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Eyal. I'm a father of Ronnie. She was a soldier in the army, in the IDF of Israel. She was in the base of Nahal Oz. Actually, it's almost 1 hour south from Tel Aviv. She was a soldier in the command room inside at the base of Nahal Oz, actually 780 meters from the border between Israel and Gaza. She was murdered. She was murdered at the Black Shabbat with another 18 girls, soldiers, girls, in the base of Nahal Oz. And we lost her. We lost her in the age of 19 and 7 months. She was so funny. She was so beautiful. She was a beautiful soldier, and we miss her a lot. It's a bad story for all of us. It's a bad story for our family. She grew up as a lovely girl, and from the age of 2 hours when she born, she smelled and she smiled every day, every hour. She was so good, and she's gone from us. And this is our bad story. I'm here to tell you and to ask you if you can do it, just to remember the whole girls that disappeared from Nahal Oz, from the base. And I'm here also for these guys, just to let them to be strong and to remember and to keep saying that they need to come back home immediately.
Hi, my name is Shady. This is my brother Alex. Alex was the bartender manager in the Festival Nova. Every time it's hard to speak about this because I imagine his son that is 2 years old alone at home with his mom, with Alex's wife Michal, that she's 6 months pregnant and her pregnancy is in a danger. She can lose her baby. We don't know. We want Alex will be in the birth of him. His child looking for him every day. Ask where is dad, and we don't know what to say to him except we love him and he miss him. Alex have a bacteria on his leg. He needs medicine. Thank you. His medicine is antibiotic. If he don't get it, he can lose his leg. And it's hard. Alex start to run with the other 5 guys from the party to the forest of Berry. All of the 5 guys found alive in the same day of the October 7th, except Alex. Alex was missing for 18 days. In the 18 days, the IDF come to us and tell us he's kidnapped alive. We don't know since anything. and we want him back. We need all of you to help us. They need the medicines. We have a lot of the hostage that need medicines, help, and we need to bring all of them home. The men, the woman, the kids, the babies, the soldier, the old people. We need all of them home. All of them human, and the Hamas. It's not Hamas, it's ISIS.
Right.
Are terrible people. And
How they treat them.
what you say? Like nothing. We need them home. We need all your help to give them, to bring them home as soon as possible. Like she said, the clock is ticking and we need them back. Please help us. Thank you.
My name is Lily. I will start with as soon as possible, as she said. We don't have an extra time. This is the most important. My both nieces, Dafna and Elal Yakim, 15 and 8.5, returned to Israel from the captivity less than 2 weeks. They came back, but I'm here in order to tell you why it's so important to bring all of them back to Israel. Same as Eyal's daughter, they lived in Kibbutz Nahal Oz, the same place where the army base is located. The ISIS took them from the beds after the shot. The father, his partner. My sister is divorced, so he's his partner, and her son, 17 years old only, from the previous relationship. After they took him to the neighbors' houses, asked him to knock on the door and to say in Hebrew, everything is fine, please go out, please come out. And those who came out got shotted. When he finished the duty, they just shot him, 17. So those two girls came back from Gaza. Physically, they came back. The soul is totally murdered. I cannot talk about everything, but I can tell you that they have a lot of ricochets, I think the words, from the bullet, resisim. They had it, and they saw the little girl. All the fingers is full. They saw her fingers with no anesthesia. The other one, 15, the head is the neck and everything, and they saw her as well with no anesthesia. That's why they passed away 4 times from the pain. It's so pain, so they pass away. And little details, no shower for 51 days. They told them that nobody want them back. Our family was very active about Gilad Shalit, and the girls know that it took 5 years to bring him back. They know that Ron Arad never came back, and they were very afraid. It's really pity that I need to talk here in front of those family, but people need to understand what is going on there. We don't have a time. We need to bring those people soon as we can.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Avivit. Thank you that you listen for us. This is my brother Hanan Blonka. We go only to Festival Nova and he doesn't come. We don't know if Hanan is dead or alive. Waiting for Hanan, the son, Yarin, waiting, Emily, the daughter, waiting. My parents and my sister waiting to know what happened to Hanan at 7 o'clock in the morning. And we know that we need to talk about this. We know that you listen. I cry. This is my big family now. And I said, thank you. Thank you that you listen. Thank you that you're coming. And I hope we come again together with them, with Hanan, with Shlomi. And thank you. It's too much for me. Thank you very much. Hey, thank you for having us here. This is my big brother, Shlomi Ziv. Well, big brother went to the Festival Nova to work at the security team. When the bombs started at the Black Saturday, he called us, to my sister, and told her that not to worry, they own it, and they close the party and they will come home soon. He didn't know, so did us. They attacked for the terrorist, and he's not run home. He helped so many people there to get out from there, and just then he tried to get home. He didn't come until now. At this time, we are hope and pray in this Hanukkah for some miracle. We need them home now. They don't have time. So we are here, all my family, all my sisters and brothers, and my father, okay? We need them home now. Thank you.
Thank you. We probably, תודה רבה, תודה שאתם חוקים. You probably would like to ask a few questions or to give comments. My apologies, some of them need to go to an interview, but some of us will stay, okay? As a template for, and we will keep discussing with you, okay?
Thank you.
תודה.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely right. Thank you.
So I understand that for some elected officials, Israel-Palestine whole conflict can be controversial. You do have constituencies that are on either side or somewhere in the middle or confused. That's okay too. Front and center to today's meeting, but also at the heart of what's going on, are people still trapped, still hostages, still in captivity. To Hila's point, that is not politics. That is just humans. It's just a humanitarian effort that we need to undertake as leaders in our communities. So you might be asking, what can I do, right? What do we do coming out of this meeting? If you want, you can, I'm sure some of the family members will be happy to take photos with you. You can post them on your social media to bring awareness to their plight and to their issue. You don't have to take a page from me, but you could post their photos of hostages up in your office. There's been quite the controversy around people tearing down flyers. We need to keep putting them back up. I know that when I go to Albany, I will be posting flyers out of my Albany office, and I encourage you to do the same. And then just amplify their stories. Keep talking about their stories and make sure that people don't forget that there are over 150 people still trapped.
Out of the 35, unfortunately,
Trapped
during the
in
last few
Gaza.
days, we got information from the IDF and other intelligence sources that they found bodies of hostages and they were identified.
It's 135. And just keep telling their stories, keep amplifying this situation, because it is up to all of us. Otherwise, people are just going to keep living their lives and move on to the next story, to the next situation. And unfortunately, I'm already seeing that. People are posting less, or they're talking about it less. And we need to keep reminding the world that we still care about these families, that they are our families. It could have been me waking up at 6 a.m., at 7 a.m. It could have been you waking up with the horrible stories. That's just how horrific this whole situation is.
Just would like
I forgot the picture of Ronnie, so I just want to show you. She was a beautiful.
That's your daughter?
And she, yeah.
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 It was very beautiful.
Thank you very much, everyone, coming
It
to
was
see
good
us.
daughter, yeah.
I very
You have a
appreciate
good
it.
daughter. We know that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, stay strong.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, good luck.
So people have questions, comments, feel free.
Can I say something? I think it's very important to understand that this is not about Israel and Hamas, what we call ISIS, according to the behavior that we saw at the 7th of October. This is not about Israel. This is not about politics. It's not even about the land. It's about the fact that it's supposed to be, it's cruel to say it, but there is soldiers and there is, I call it a fair game. It's not a fair game if you're taking a 9-year-old baby from his baby bed, now he's 11 months, he's still there, captured in Gaza. This is not, it's beyond everything. I can see that people are so apathic to the story. They think this is Israel and Hamas, and it's not about this. It needs to be at least a fair game, at least to keep the game between the army and those who want to occupy the country, let's say. But you cannot take 82-year-old woman, Holocaust survivor, you cannot take the head off of 40 babies, you cannot rape women and men, you cannot take the heads off. There is things that you cannot do. You cannot occupy 240 people just because they are in a land that you think not belong to them. It's not about that. People need to understand that it can happen everywhere. It's happened in Israel now. It will happen in other countries. Actually, it's happened in France. Charlie Hebdo, I think it's the magazine with the. This is not, and this is a huge waking call to the world about a group which was terror group, and it's now an army. It's an army. And this is, I think, what people need to understand. This is the bottom line, actually. Citizens are out of this game.
If I may. My name is Stephen Saperstein. I work with the Queens Jewish Link, the local newspaper over here. I've met many of you over time. I think the significance of this meeting is so much greater because the president had the menorah lighting in the White House, and there was controversy over hostages attending, if they, the families. Now, us all being here means that we're giving light to this situation and we're giving it time. What their decision was in Washington, it was. But us being here says so much at a time when, it was the news story going around, and we're able to be here and do this. It goes so much further. And anything that we could do to share that further is only gonna help bring everybody home, which is what we've been doing for 60 or whatever days it is. Thank you so much to everyone.
Somebody has a comment or a question or?
I just want to thank you, Deputy Consul General for bringing and Nily for having this opportunity to hear directly from folks that are in pain, that are suffering, that have been, terrorized in the worst way and still undergoing terror because they don't know the status of their families. And I can't think of anything worse to impose on anyone. And whatever that they're going through, I can't imagine. And we all have to try to make sure that we continue to raise our voices, that they get some closure, one way or another, that they can get closure. Because to not know the status of your family member, to have your family member ripped from your life, is just, it's just something that none of us have gone through. And I hope that none of us have to witness this again.
Unimaginable. And to this day, the Red Cross is not gone to see people
Not
in
even
captivity.
once.
Not even once. So
Right. They haven't been allowed to go.
Not even to see, not even to pass the medicines.
Right.
We had a meeting with them yesterday, one out of many, in which the president of the Red Cross stated, "We are failing you." Quote, the whole mission statement of the Red Cross basically cannot be performed. So we can ask, what is the purpose of the Red Cross? If the Red Cross can do his mission statement only when the scenery is suitable, then we don't need Red Cross, because we have so many, private organizations that can do that. And this is really unfortunate, because those times, this is where we need the Red Cross. By the way, also the UN, to not stand and say firmly that rape and murder and kidnapping is crimes against humanity, period, regardless of religion, regardless of race, regardless of location. The UN Women Association should stand up and say, rape is crime against humanity. Those are war crimes. There is no other way to describe them. This is not conflict. This is not organization who fights for peace or for the benefits of its own people. I'm sorry, but organizations that use humans and children as human shields are not an organization who fights for peace. This is a terror organization. And I'm not here to intimidate anyone, to say that if it happens in Israel, it can happen tomorrow here. Because if there is one nation across the globe who can firmly understand the massive sadness and the tragic that we are going through, is you, my friends from 9/11. And this is why, if I may ask, from each and every one of you and the members of your community during this holiday season of Christmas and Hanukkah, family time. In the Jewish religion, in Passover, we have a tradition that during Leil Seder, we are bringing one empty chair for Eliyahu Navi. When you will have your holidays gathering, regardless of religion, please put one chair. Print a photo of one of those family members. Put it. Let's pray. Let's see those faces, those stories. Okay? Put it near the tree. Put it near the Chanukiah. Put it in your house. Put it in your office. Post a post. Ask for your community members, because those are human beings. If we would like to build a better world, if we would like to be civilized, we need to treat those human beings as one of you. And thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. So I also want to bring in Rabbi Weiss into this conversation. I always bring a rabbi around.
Thank you so much, my dear friend, Nily Assemblymember Rozic. My name is David Wise. I'm the Rav Kilati po Queens. I'm a congregational rabbi in Queens, in Hollis Hills, and I'm also the father of two Israelis, and my son is a lone soldier. He was supposed to have discharged on October 15th, but that obviously did not happen. I would like to just say to all of the families of the hostages who are here that we admire your strength and your courage beyond words. And our kehillah, everybody in our congregation, stands at your side. We pray for captives every day in our tefillot, in our prayers. And we have each in our community adopted hostages. And we pray for their safe return and for your strength and health of body and mind, as well as theirs. I would like to ask that all of the elected officials here take note of one of the things that Nily said about the seemingly inhumane act of removing posters of hostages. I can't fathom a more cruel act in the face of the Jewish community here and of the families who are praying and pleading for their loved ones to come home, to suggest that that statement simply, this is a human being with a face and a name, please bring him home, please bring her home, would be removed from a tree, from a lamppost, from a wall. If you find any of this behavior in your communities, I plead with you to condemn it in the most public and clear ways possible. That is my specific request from this group of people who have the great privilege of representing all of us, regardless of our religion or our race. And again, to you, la mishpachot, la krovim, libi itchem, v'lev kol hakehillah sheli itchem. My heart is with you. The hearts of everybody in my congregation are with you.
And I just want to say one thing really quick, just to lift up what Rabbi Weiss said, which might not be clear to some elected officials here. When in Judaism, the importance of raising up someone's name and remembering their name is so important. It's the holiest thing you can do. During the Holocaust, Hitler's plan was just to erase names, right? Just to erase memories of people and just to make sure that no one remembered individual Jews, individual LGBTQ members, just to erase. That was the goal of the final solution. And so when you are tearing down posters, sorry, I'm getting emotional, when you're tearing down posters, that is exactly what you're invoking, and the intergenerational trauma that many of us hold comes to life. So that's why it's so important.
I wanted to. After October 7th, I wanted to make sure that I understood what it was that we were talking about, really what we were talking about with Hamas. And so I made myself, after I put my kids to sleep, I made myself sit and I watched, not the videos that we got from the IDF, but from the videos that Hamas themselves put out. And I sat there, thinking about my sisters and the family that I have there. And you can see what it means, not a war, but what evil and what cruelty means. When you have videos of a woman's body mangled, and they're sitting on top of it, laughing. And I think what broke me was the video of a small boy, and they were taunting him. They said, say Ima, say Abba, call for your mother, call for your father. And the boy didn't understand his parents were killed. And so why is it that we say that the Nazis are evil? Why is it that we have that picture versus in any other war, right? We don't say that there was good versus evil, it was two armies fighting. What made the Nazis evil? What makes Hamas evil? And it's not just the lack of concern for human life, it's the joy that they take in the torturing, in the cruel acts that they commit. That's what we're fighting about. What I would say to my colleagues is that when you really want to understand what this argument is about, watch those videos. Not the videos from the IDF, but the videos that Hamas themselves put up. Because this is them telling you that this is who we are and we're proud of it. That this is okay. That this is a good thing somehow. That raping women, the videos that they have of women with bloodied pants as they're pushed into cars, crying, and they're posting this, and they're saying this is a good thing. We're proud of this. To understand what it is that we're talking about here.
She's Naama Levy.
Yeah.
Her name is Naama Levy.
I'm sorry, say that again? Her name?
Naama
The woman that.
Now, John, and just, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you, just to say something that's totally related to what you just said. They're putting those videos out because they want to show to the funders what they do. And we're talking about the terrorist organization that not started as anti-Zionist organization or anti-Jewish. If you read the history, they started in Syria and Lebanon. In Syria, they were part of the civil war in Syria. This is one of the reasons why Arab countries wouldn't accept them. We really have to understand that this terrorist organization has a long history, killing not only Jewish people, but killing Arabs in Syria and Lebanon. This is very important for all of us to understand. This terrorist organization, we cannot call them people. And what they're doing with the videos, they're doing because one day they decided that doing what they're doing in Syria, Lebanon is not as profitable if they move to Gaza and start killing Jewish people. That's what that organization is about. That organization is about making money. Yasser Arafat went to the grave with $2 billion in his pocket. We'll have to read the history.
Well, it's a very good lesson, Alec. I'm sorry to cut you off. Ken, say something short, and then we have to start wrapping up.
Yeah.
You have
I'm Jewish, and this is Ruby. She's my daughter. Her father is Christian. We are in Hanukkah and Santa now. About Christmas, we are celebrating both. She found a short a movie in YouTube about Santa, which normally can make any wish come true about present near the tree. And in this movie, he's saying that even he cannot. He said, I can make the wish come true, but I cannot bring them home. So Santa cannot, but you people can. You can post much as you can, and to talk and to help us to understand to the people that it cannot happen. It's depend on you.
Thank you.
Just one quick question. So we mentioned helping by amplifying the families and making sure we call out people who violate the posters. And you mentioned something about the United Nations. Is there anything else the family would like to request for lawmakers in New York that we can do to help? Is there anything else?
Well, we have so many ideas and suggestions. I don't know if Tsach on behalf of the State of Israel, but I can tell you that from my point of view, and again, we are not politicians and we don't talk on behalf of the State of Israel, we are civilians. Hamas is a terror organization. These people, from my point of view, should not be able to enter any democratic country. If they are, they should be arrested. The funds who supporting this organization, the funds that supported and allowed basically this tragic happen to take place should be held in BEX and Bitcoin and every form of financial institutions that support those kind of I think that you should be loud and clear in your legal platforms that you have here with the UN and other organizations that, just the other, I think it was yesterday when the majority of the countries voted for an immediate ceasefire. I think that the most important thing that you can do, not from a legal point of view, but from an educational point of view, I don't want to sound arrogant, so I apologize if I will for a moment. There is so much ignorance around the world about what is happening. So much fake news that basically we have two wars. We have the battlefield war and we have the social war. And we are losing because people don't know anything about what's going on in Israel. If you can have an history lesson, talk about facts. I'm not talking about beliefs. I'm not talking about even solution. 1-state solution, 2-state solution, 4-state solution. I couldn't care less. I want people to know the facts. And after that, if somebody is evil and after he knows the facts, he would like to support ISIS, okay, let's think as human beings, democratic countries, how to deal with them. But first, they know young American smart people are strolling down the streets of New York and Ivy League universities, and the presidents of Penn and Harvard and MIT, wow, intelligent, brilliant women, talking whether calling for a genocide and murder of Jews, whether it's bullying and harassment. I'm not talking if it's illegal. Bullying and harassment, which is, wow, we are teaching 5-year-old kids about what is bullying and harassment, right? And they say it depends on the context.
Right.
I'm sorry. Not in the United States of America, in my humble opinion. You are the flag of democracy. You are the flag of diversity. This should be banned. This is not even a legal issue. This is a moral issue.
Now you're talking about our problem here in American society.
I think that if people, your brilliant young generation, Generation X, Generation Z, the millennials will know more. People are talking about the ceasefire. The UN is calling about the ceasefire. My friends, there was a ceasefire on October 6th. There was a ceasefire on October 7th. Israel left Gaza completely 20 years ago, 2005. If you can teach in your communities, and again, it's not a matter of right or wrong, it's not a matter of politics, facts. One organization, one country cannot wake up one day and invade other countries' borders and kidnap children, mothers, fathers from their beds. You won't allow it in your country. You should not allow it in our country. You should not allow it as the shield of the world. This is how I see your country. You are the shield of the world. Please, please echo those messages. Please echo education. Please echo for a better generation. Thank you. I'm sorry, but we must go. Thank you very much.
I wouldn't be a Jewish mom if I didn't implore you all to take some videos. I can't take them home.